Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Vinny the Axe. Today we're going to go over the Rock and Roll Relics 2 Pickup Dilemma. Amazing discovery last night. So last we left off, I wasn't really digging the pickups. They had this muddy kind of character to them, very dark sounding set of pickups. I didn't like that there was hardly any note definition or clarity. It sounded like I was playing on the neck pickup when I was actually in the bridge position, and then the neck pickup was even worse. So, got a bunch of really good comments and some advice. And one person said, why don't you think about changing the capacitor? Which I wasn't really going to change the capacitor, but it sparked my interest to say, hey, let me open the back of this thing and see what the electronics look like inside, to see, do some recon and see what I'm dealing with here, because I was ready to drop some money on a set of pickups, and I wanted to see, what work was going to be involved in this thing. So I opened it up. I'm looking at the electronics that are in there. It's fairly simple, it's 2 pots are in there, and it's got a 3-way switch located up in the upper bout here, so it wasn't really anything nutty. Everything looks nice and neat and laid out. Matter of fact, I have one of those little standoffs in there where it's like 3M double-sided taped with a little zip tie, so it's so that both pickups are wires come around and they're like out of the way in the cavity. Really decent looking. Pots looked a little so-so. I mean, I think they used flux or something when they used their solder, so who knows. I got this guitar secondhand. I didn't buy it brand new, so whatever I'm saying here, I don't know if somebody had touched this guitar before, has done anything inside of it. I'm not really sure. But it looked like it hadn't been tampered with because how neat the wiring was laid out. It definitely looked factory. So I'm looking at the wiring and I'm going, man, something doesn't seem right here. Something doesn't seem... So I started tracing all the wires back from the 3-way switch, and I noticed that the hot lead that usually goes, it depends on who you talk to as far as a potentiometer goes, because sometimes they show you pictures of it right side up, sometimes it's upside down. When you're looking at the 3 legs that are on there, or the 3 posts, or whatever they call them, there's like 50 different names for these. The 3 terminals, some people have them labeled 1, 2, and 3, one direction, 1, 2, and 3 the opposite direction. Let's just say this. Any pickup wiring that I have ever done, the hot lead that comes from the pickups always winds up going to, I'm going to call it position 1 on the potentiometer, on the volume potentiometer. But that's not what was happening in here. The hot lead from the pickups was going to the position 3, we'll call it, on the tone control. So I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. So I went and looked up a bunch of schematics. I'm no electronics genius. I can pretty much mirror anything that I see, and my soldering skills are pretty decent. So I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here. And I checked so many different references of different pickup schematics. I was on Seymour Duncan's website, DiMarzio's. I was looking up every kind of pickup wiring schematic I could find. All of them go, the hot lead goes to that, let's call it terminal 1 on the volume control. So what I'm thinking happened is there was a mistake made. I don't know who made it, but the hot lead was going to, like I say, position 3, the mirroring side of the tone control, and I think that's what was causing the problem. Because I think what's happening is the input of the pickups, or I should say the output of the pickups, is going right directly to that pot with that 0.22 cap on there. And I think it's bleeding off all of the high end immediately, and then it's transferred over, bridged over to the volume control. That's why when I did the last video, if you check it out, when I'm rolling down the tone control, you hear almost like a volume drop, plus it starts muddy right from the gate. So what I did was I just unsoldered it from that position, put it to position 1 on the volume, turned it on, plugged it in, and immediately the whole guitar came to life. I have treble response, I have note separation, clarity, again, are these the best pickups in the universe? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not going to do a cartwheel over it, but it sounds good. It sounds great now. And so I've gone through the motions here, and hopefully I showed that in the video where you can hear me rolling the tone off, and now the tone is behaving like a proper tone control, and the volume's behaving normal, And now when I'm in the bridge position, it sounds like I'm in the bridge position. When I'm in the middle, I'm getting that kind of jangleness between both pickups, if you want to call it that. And I'm getting that smooth sound from the P90 in the neck position. So amazing. I didn't have to buy any pickups, and it was just me being, observant of what I was looking at in the cavity to go, wait a minute, something just doesn't seem right. And I traced it took me about 20 minutes just staring at it going, why does this guitar not sound good? It should sound pretty good. And because it has Mojo Tone pickups in it, I've seen really good reviews on them. I watched demos. They sound fine. They don't sound dead or muddy. So problem solved. Who knew? One wire, one solder point changed, and took 5 minutes, of soldering, and done. And now the guitar plays fantastic. Saved me, $300-400 on putting pickups in, or maybe changing out all the electronics to put in new pots and all that. And now we're rocking and rolling. No pun intended. Well, anyway, I hope you got something out of this, and maybe if you're having a problem with your guitar, it might be a simple fix. It might be not an overhaul needed. I got lucky on this one, I have to say. I didn't have to do hardly any work, and I'm like super excited about it. So I really appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for watching Vinny the Axe, and I'll see you soon.